lived over here in San Diego before moving out there with my husband for the station back out there. So I would say one of my superpowers is like managed rapport building, and I'm a very relationship person. I want to get to know who your dogs are, children are, when's your birthday, that kind of thing. So that's been very great for our business. But I would also say if you would love to speak with me offline, I focus mainly on the East Coast of the business, really in the Sun Belt, and really the co-living space. So with pad splits, right now we've got 3 active pad splits, spread across 3 different states. Actually, no, we've got 4. Sorry, I forgot.
A few more.
Yeah, so we got 4, 2 in Georgia, 1 in Florida, and then we've got 2 under rehab right now. So we're going, co-living is a way to go out on the East Coast right now, especially in the major metropolitan areas, because you can really take a no and turn it into a yes very quickly with the co-living space. Where you're going to be able to go from getting $2,600 a month to where you could possibly get $6,000 to $7,000 a month. So it's a great way to look at, if you're here in California, looking east and seeing what's the possibility out there. You look at me and Michael, and we have a portfolio that's spread from coast to coast, all the way down to Puerto Rico to Alaska. And we're able to, with the right people in the right seats, be able to manage that. And so you should be able to do the same thing from out here elsewhere. So don't limit yourself on where you're currently at. I would always say I don't like to do business in my backyard because ask Michael how many Zooms I do in my car, right? Because I'm always driving around to see something. So thank you. Thanks for the sponsors for being here. Mitch, dude, y'all do a great job for SoCal. And I cannot wait to get back out here and get involved heavily with the community again and get to know everybody. So thank you very much.
All right, guys, last but not least, me. So Michael Manatskanian, thank you, Adam. So as Adam mentioned, Adam and I have coast-to-coast vets. It's our buy and hold business. We have short-term rentals, mid-term rentals, long-term rentals, various types of co-living with sober living homes, as well as pad split rent by the room. What we're primarily focused on moving forward is our pad split or co-living properties. We're able to buy the best properties in the best locations, not just like the best states, but the best cities, and make them still cash flow positive. So we do have short-term rentals, like this amazing property that you guys are in today is a short-term rental. Almost everything we're buying is creatively financed. Even if we're buying it with a traditional loan or something like a fix and flip up in the beginning, we're going to do something to tap into that equity or leverage really great debt on the back end, at minimum raising capital to make that happen. So things I can help you guys with, deal analysis, especially really structuring deals, like maybe restructuring a deal that doesn't pencil out on paper if there's potential, and then raising capital for our investment. So Adam focuses a ton on deal flow and then overseeing our property management and asset management, and I focus much more on the capital raising and overall business management, I guess you could say. So with that being said, I'm going to run you guys through, because everyone's been asking me about this property in particular. This one's one of the cooler creative finance transactions out there. When Pace does his challenge, I don't know, whenever, he said next year he's going to do a challenge to see which ones are some of the coolest properties that you've heard of in the last couple of years. Yeah, give us one a shout out. Give us one if you like it, So
you can do adult hide and go seek.
Yeah, so this one's fine. It's not just a short-term rental. It is a short-term rental, but we also have like events and Justin Brown, where is he? Justin Brown, he hosted his events here. Justin from Alliance Escrow. Justin's done a few of our creative finance transactions as well, so if you need an escrow company familiar with creative finance, Alliance Escrow is definitely the way to go. And another one of our sponsors I see on here is Tycor Title. I'm not sure who brought them, but Tycor is great too. We've used the combination of Alliance Escrow and then Tycor Title to get a lot of creative finance deals done, including multiple in San Diego County. So
we use Alliance every time.
Yeah, and get it done. I'm not gonna, yeah. So with that being said, I will go into the deal right now. I forgot, that's on me, right? Oh, actually, I'm going to run you guys very quickly through my investing journey, super quick. So a lot of people see where I'm at on stuff too. You may or may not know me, but I became financially free at before 30 years old. It took me less than 4 years through my real estate portfolio. We don't need to look at like the very beginning of, I've always wanted to be financially free. I was very focused on that because to me, having time for my family and to just enjoy this amazing world is #1 priority. So being able to have the financial freedom to do so, then also the time and location freedom, so that I'm not limited to what I'm able to do. And I started learning about real estate investing in 2018 when I joined the military. In 2020, my wife and I bought our very first house hack. We were stationed up in Fairbanks, Alaska. Bought a 2-unit, lived in one, rented out the other. Started wholesaling cash deals out of state. Bought another property in 2021. It was a 4-unit that we house hacked. Started sending letters to seller finance opportunities or high equity opportunities in our local market. Got 20 rental cabins. And between my first 3 transactions, that was 26 rental units generating over $7,500 a month of cash flow. I was done. I thought I was done, and then I met the one and only Pace Morby, which, you know, huge shout out to Sub 2, Top Tier, Gator, all that good stuff. And Pace, he's been such a valuable mentor for me, not just on real estate investing, but really mindset and business and life and being a great father and being a great husband and quality time and all that stuff. So in 2022, moved out of Alaska, got out of the military, house hacked another 3-unit, and then met my business partner, Adam Catledge, in 2022 through Sub 2. And one of the lessons Pace taught me very early on was, although I seemed on the surface to be financially free because I was generating more money each month than my expenses, first of all, I had a very narrow vision on what my expenses would look like over the long term. 27 years old, you think $7,500 is a lot of money? And it is, right? Like, no one's laughing at that passively. But there's a lot more that you can do, and he said, don't stop here. But also, I was not financially free. I was financially free, but I was not time free at all. I was very involved with every single aspect of my business. So he taught me how I can just do the thing that I was underwriting for, exchange my cash flow for handyman and contractors, for property managers, for bookkeepers. Like, that's the whole purpose, free up my time to do bigger and better things. And then Adam and I met, and we started Coast to Coast Vets, which is exclusively, I mean, not exclusively, but for the most part, all we do is buy and hold real estate investments. The majority are coming from wholesalers. We just are really good at analyzing and renegotiating these deals, and then raising the money to buy these deals, do the renovations, furnishings, whatever we need to for a pro forma. Over 60 units right now in my portfolio. Half of them shared with Adam, and then, and I mean, that's the gist of it. So right now I'm buying and holding real estate, raising capital, lending money out to other investors. That's a big part of what I do. And then I'm also helping others. I have a community called Super Investors where it's very singularly focused. There's some super investors here, and we very singularly focus on financial freedom through buying and holding real estate using none of your own money. That's the focus. No wholesaling, no fix and flipping. If you're already doing that to make active income, awesome. A lot of people want to be financially free and time free. That's all we focus on. How do we make you as efficiently as possible financially free so that you can really have your business operate without you? That's the end all. That's the overall goal. And Adam and I are still actively working on a lot of that. But that's how we can help other people as well. So that is the crash course into my investing timeline. The big takeaway is I just started learning about real estate in 2018, bought my first property in 2020. Here we are 4 years after buying my first property, financially free, and just adding multiple properties a year, if not, you know, and we're gonna get back to our 1 to 2 a month as well. So this property, the San Diego Castle, this one was one of, this property is a very amazing property, is a very amazing creative finance transaction. It is only possible with Adam and I based on our personal real estate portfolios. I wouldn't recommend this to the majority of people. What you should be focused on are cash flowing assets. This was an opportunity where Adam and I can get into a multi-million-dollar property with very little money out of pocket, virtually none, and I'll talk a little bit about that and how we found it. And this is a great, nice to have in your portfolio. It's a great wealth builder. It's not going to make you financially free. It's that long-term play with a property like this, and we get to host cool events and have a, you know, I don't know, maybe 50 awesome people in here. So let's get into it. So how this deal happened was I was scrolling through Zillow, and I noticed that this is a property that I thought I saw the year prior for sale. And for me, you know, my creative finance people, the trigger in my head is, how did they buy it? I wonder what mortgage they did and how much they put down, because they probably have little to no equity on this deal. Maybe I can make creative work because they're not going to be able to sell it traditionally, otherwise they're going to lose a bunch of money. And that was the red flag. I noticed it was listed in May of 2022 and then sold in June of 2022. So listed for 2.2, sold in June of 2022 for 1.8. In April, so just less than a year later, they tried listing it for 2.1 million. So then I thought, okay, well, let's look at this deal. I leveraged one of my favorite tools and one of our sponsors, PropStream, which is a tool that I use to find motivated creative finance opportunities, as well as to analyze every single deal. If I'm looking at mortgage info, getting quick estimates on rental comps or property values, like I'm using it for every single deal that I'm buying. I'm leveraging PropStream, and I'm thankful that they sponsor this event for us, or they're one of our sponsors for the event and for the gift basket. So then what I realized is he bought this property using a VA loan. So if you know anything about VA loans, you can put $0 down and get into a VA loan, and on top of that, you can roll in closing costs into your actual purchase, which means he was really negative equity. And I thought between April of 2023 and June 2022, the only thing that's happened are interest rates have gone down. There's less buyers out there because interest rates have gone up, and there's less buyers out there. So I doubt the property, unless they added substantial amount of money to renovate it, has increased in value almost $3 million. So I called the seller almost immediately and I said, hey agent, I know this may not, so when they listed it April, basically right around that same time, I called the agent and I said, hey, I know this may not be the right time or like the right scenario for you. It was a lot more rapport building than that, but basically the gist was, if you are not able to sell it traditionally, the normal way that you are used to selling invested properties, let me know, because I would love to buy this property, but the only thing I can really offer is if I'm able to take over the existing debt. Because there's a 4% interest rate loan on this property. 4% on $1.8 million is, well, it's a phenomenal debt to hold for a very long period, as opposed to the 6, 7, 8% that you were getting. So that debt itself was a massive value, plus this property. So he said, no, like, thanks for that. It's not something that we're interested in right now. So then what I did was I continued to follow up. I followed up. What's the one thing, and this is, you guys can talk, what's the one thing that you have to do basically the first of every month? Whether you own a home or you rent a home.
Rent.
You pay your mortgage or you pay your rent, right? So I knew this seller has this property for sale right now. It's vacant. It looks like they're trying to short-term rent it and trying to sell it at the same time, which is kind of a recipe for disaster, because it's like you're half in, half out. You're not renting, you're not making much money. You're not really selling it because you have to coordinate around like stays, and most people want to view the property on the weekend, which is when most people want to book it. He was kind of shooting himself in the foot with that, unfortunately for him. And so I called and talked to the agent, and he said, no, not really motivated. So I was like, May 1st, called around May 15th, called right before the end of the month, called in the middle of June. And by the time I contacted him right before the next, the following mortgage payment in July, the seller was much more motivated. The agent admitted, hey, you know what, he cannot keep funding basically this entire mortgage. I mean, it's almost a $12,000 mortgage. It's a very expensive mortgage, and that's with 4% debt. You can just imagine what it would be with all new debt. Much worse than that. Well, we could probably estimate like 15, 16, 17, 18K plus a massive down payment. Like this property would never work if it wasn't creative financing. It almost barely works with creative financing. So it definitely would not work without creative financing. So that's what we did, just really followed up with the seller when I knew the seller was going to be motivated, or the agent, when I knew the seller would be motivated, which is those massive mortgage payments, and basically had a really good conversation with the agent. Then he connected me with the seller, and we had a joint call, understand the seller's motivation. He just wanted to get out. He knew he was going to lose his property foreclosure. This was like a pre-foreclosure. This was like the last time he's going to be able to make a payment out of pocket. He had to go really deep into his savings to pay off some other debts, and he just could not keep accumulating this debt. He was on the verge of not making any mortgage payments, losing his VA loan for the rest of his life, because if you foreclose a property with a VA loan, you can never use your VA loan again. It's gone. Even if you sell creatively and someone takes over your entitlement the way that we did, we bought the property with his loan in place. Once we pay off the loan, he gets his loan back. At least it's not gone forever. And we were basically able to solve the seller's problem by taking over the asset. There was really not, the seller got no cash at closing. The agent got a fraction of their assignment fee, or their agent commission, but the deal was able to get done. We took over all of the debts of the property. We continue to make the mortgage payment, continue to improve the property. You guys are in it, so it's a pretty awesome property. And we solved the seller's problem. We got a phenomenal deal that adds tens of thousands of dollars every single month to our net worth through debt pay down and appreciation. Cash flow is very neutral. All in all, we got this property for less than $60K, because I didn't even mention the M&M method, which I don't even know if it's whatever, I don't know if it's an official thing, but we bought this property and we did it on a lease option, which means we had the option to buy the property, we're basically renting it, and we were renting it, covering the mortgage, and we were short-term renting the property, making tens of thousands of dollars a month during the summer period, and we used a lot of that income, like 40K roughly, to offset a lot of our closing costs. So the amount that we would have had to raise, we were able to raise even less because we leveraged the property to rent it out even before we had closed on it, and then we leveraged that income to reduce our closing costs and only brought in a private money lender at 12% interest rate to cover the roughly 60K and 20-ish K in closing costs, 20-ish K for furnishings and reserves and things like that. That was this property. Any questions about, I mean, I ran through that for sure.
Forgot something.
Yes, please.
One of the creative, this is why I love creative finance, right? So who all's in sub 2? Who all know, does anybody not know what creative finance is? All right, so love creative finance because Michael forgot that one of the creative ways is we didn't even have to pay the full agent commission. No, we paid half of it, and we paid, and the seller paid half. But the seller couldn't come up with the money, so we seller financed his closing costs to him, and he paid us over time to get that.
So that's kind of the position he was in. He had no more money to pay. He needed to just get out. And we got him out. We got a great asset, helped him solve his problem. And the 9K that he would have had to pay just for his agent commission, he couldn't come up with that either because there just was no equity on this property. So Adam's right. We raised that money, closed on it, and that 9K the seller paid us back over the next 9 months, $1,000 a month. Helped him solve his problem. That's right. This is like a sick deal because of the fact that we bought it with basically, well, virtually no money. We made money for months before we ever closed on it. And even the seller ended up paying us for a couple months, for 9 months, paying back the closing costs that we covered on his behalf. So this was
one of the best things of the whole story really is we were able to help out a fellow veteran save their entitlement in the future, right? And not lose what they worked so hard to get from, their sacrifice for the country. So we were able to help them out. So that's like one of the biggest things we love, and we've done that multiple times within our company of saving veterans from foreclosure and them seeing their credit score go up because you can see it on the mortgage portal. The credit score is going up as we make those mortgage payments. And I just had one called me the other day, Emily, first sub 2 I had, she said, hey, our VX has just disappeared. Yeah, because I sold the house. So it just rid off my credit. It's just a great story. That's why we love creative. So we were able to help this guy out.
That is a great point, right? With these creative transactions, especially sub 2, like if someone's selling a property sub 2, in my opinion, they're very motivated to be able to be willing to sell a property and leave its existing debt in place, even though you're responsible for it, but they're the ones liable for that credit hit if you don't perform. So they're motivated at the sale, so you're helping solve that problem. But then on the back end, once we own that house, if you're a responsible and good buyer, you're helping them improve their credit, you're helping them prevent foreclosure, you're helping them, in this instance, get their VA loan back. Then we had a 12-year balloon that was kind of the reasonable, like we didn't want to keep it for 30 years, well, we wanted to keep it forever, right? But we also want him to have the VA loan to be able to reuse it. So there's lots of ways that you can help at the closing, but then also over the long term if you are a good buyer. That's the problem with creative financing. When you're raising the money and you're leveraging creative financing, it's not your money, it's not your debt. It's very imperative that you are a good buyer. If you are not able to perform, you need to figure out a way to do so. So talk to your mentors, talk to people around you who have gone through the thing that can help you solve the problem. Because just because you can walk away from it and it's not going to impact your wallet, does not mean that you should walk away from it. You should try to solve that problem. Take care of your lenders, take care of your sellers. Does that mean we are always perfect? No. Like we're literally we're figuring this thing out just like everyone else. Does that mean if there's a PML due, we're going to communicate and say, hey, we might need a few extra months or whatever. Like communicate, be responsive with your partners, and just take care of the people that you're working with. And we know we have places to improve just like every other investor. This is the big thing for us is how do we get better and better with investor relations and managing our assets and all that good stuff. So I will leave it at that. I think there's no questions about, oh yes, please.
What was this guy's story? Because he was not a grunt at Pendleton to the fourth his house. What's his story?
I don't fully know, but yeah, you're right. He had a solid income to be able to qualify for almost a $1.8 million loan. Yeah. So he was not active duty anymore.
I'll tell you, especially on the VA side, there's a lot less the institutions, and I might be wrong, but they see the VA entitlement and they see that they're guaranteed, right? So they got some backing. So they let us go a little bit higher debt to income ratio on our VA loans because of, they've got the backing of the federal government.
Right.
Good or bad, sometimes it hurts them because, VA just stopped foreclosures for a while. So, but that is, that's probably a big piece of it. They let us go a little bit higher than someone with just a regular W-2 job.
Was he retired? Or?
Yeah, he was retired and had another source of income.
Okay.
So he must have had at least $150,000, maybe closer to $200,000 of active income. But as you all might know, should know, will know, that your revenue does not matter. It's what you save. So he could have had a lot of income, but he was bleeding between left and right, so he had no money left over at the end of the day to be able to handle something like this. So he might have had a lot of active income at the time to qualify, but it didn't pan out the way that he thought, I guess. So like, at the time it made sense, he qualified, but it didn't.
What was he driving?
I don't know. I have never met him in person. I have met him over Zoom.
Okay.
I've met him on phone calls. And this is funny, because this is in my backyard, at least at the time. So I've actually moved up to Northern California. Sorry, SoCal. Love you, SoCal. But, I like my space up in NorCal and the family up in NorCal. Yeah, but then Adam, my business partner, is coming back to San Diego. But yeah, a lot of the time we never even meet the sellers. The majority of the time we've never met the sellers in person. Sometimes I do.
He was driving a Prius, don't worry.
It's a
He
good
was
car.
driving a Charger. He was a Marine.
He was a Marine, so it could have been a Charger or a Mustang. I think so. You got something? Yes.
Yeah, so especially for some of the newer sub-2 students here, or whatever mentorship you're in, what's some key takeaways, or what would you suggest whenever you call either the seller or the agent to convince them to go the sub-2 route? Because there's a lot of roadblocks whenever you mention that, especially when you're talking about, like, you're responsible for their credit whenever you're taking over these properties. So what are some suggestions that you would enlighten us with?
You phrased it well. So like, how would I convince them that this is the route? I actually try to convince them away from creative finance first. I say, if you have a cash offer, you have a traditional offer that will satisfy your problems, you should go that route. Based on what I'm seeing here, I don't think that's gonna be likely, because the only way for you to basically break even is to sell this thing at $2+ million. The property's probably not worth $2 million. You don't have the equity to sell it, so you're gonna have to come out of pocket. Is that something that you guys can, is that something you're able to do, or is there an alternative that I can provide you that might be able to solve that problem for you? So that's like one of the biggest things, is understanding the problem itself, and then trying to solve that problem, but then understanding the way the numbers work between the closing costs and commissions. And I come in and this was 2023, so like I come in with my buyer's agent, and then because if we're a buyer and we're buying $2 million property, you're gonna want a bunch of repairs done and all that. Like, there was no way he was walking away from this investment, because of how little he put down, how recently he bought it, that he was going to be able to survive the sale without putting in a bunch of money. So solving his problem was the very big one, and that's really what I try to do. When I'm calling, typically for sellers like this, I love to, so like this is a big thing when I'm talking to agents with a property that was recently listed, and like recently bought and then relisted. I love to say, hey, just looking at I'm calling to learn a little bit more about this property. It looks beautiful, it caught my eye. I'm looking through the Zillow listing right now. Oh, that's weird. It says this was just sold a year ago. Is there something wrong with Zillow? And they're like, no, it was. And I'm like, oh, is there like a problem with the property or something? Is there something that's going on with the property? Because I'm trying to blame the property. So then the agent's like, no, actually, here's what happened with the seller. And then I try to see if I can solve that problem. So like, I'm literally, once I stopped trying to put deals under contract, I don't even know if that's the right way to phrase it. Once I just started focusing on what Pace says, finding the bunnies, or trying to understand what is really motivating the seller, like what is the problem you can solve for them, that's when things really change. So I'm just constantly just having conversations, seeing, can we solve a problem for the seller? If we can, and then the numbers work for us as the buyer, cool, we'll move forward. But that's the biggest one. I mean, the objections and all that, there's so many videos on like YouTube. If you're brand new, please, all this information's on YouTube. Like the most common seller objections and all that, yeah, it's on my credit, it's on this, it's on that. There's a variety of ways to handle that, but none of it matters. The numbers don't even matter unless you understand what the seller, what's motivating the seller, and then how you can try to solve that problem. Like, nothing else matters. You can have the best answer to FAQs. You can have the best deal analysis. If you don't know on creative financing, if you don't know what the seller's problem is and how you can solve it, very rarely are you gonna be able to get a deal done outside of that, so I would say that, understanding the seller's problem is number one.
Nice.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? And everyone's
Sure, one other thing.
yeah, please.
You know, the reasons why we buy real estate, you know, one of the reasons is, and I want to hit on this, was leverage, right? And so it's kind of really hard if you don't have property and you're really getting started to really understand what that leverage means, right? Because no one really talks about it. Yeah, they talk about how I can get out there and sell my portfolio together one day or whatnot. But we've gotten creative with how we can leverage stuff, and I'll give you a prime example. Who in here has invested in Puerto Rico? Nope. Who? Oh, you have, right? With us. Who would feel comfortable sending money to Puerto Rico? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. You know, so 4 people out of a room of 50 people, right? So we bought a property in Puerto Rico this summer. Seller finance, $827,000, 0% interest, $2,000 a month for 15 years, right? So
We like good debt.
you know, but we needed
120.
we needed 127,000 close. We couldn't raise the entire amount, but
We had a private money partner.
Yeah.
In the last second, she got nervous, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh god, we gotta scramble.
Yeah.
And
So,
then,
so we got it down all the way, you know, to where was our break even? Where can we need to close? What's the cash to close? And so we met got Morgan involved as one of our lenders. But what we did with it was, okay, Morgan's like, hey, let me put a lien on this property here, stateside, so I know my capital is secure. So that's leverage, right? You can leverage your properties to go out and do other deals, right? Keep your properties, sell the ones that are your problem child sometimes, maybe not if you got a portfolio to support some of those, because you need a tax write-off. Trust me, I got all my tax dollars back from my W-2. So,
I will even say,
yeah, so that's how you can leverage, and then, but yeah, appreciate it, Morgan. I want to say that.
yeah, that was a great point. So like we leveraged this property's equity over that year from Morgan to come in and go in second position. But even that was pretty creative because we told Morgan, we don't think we need your money that long. We're gonna find a private money partner. We just can't find it in 3 days because for us it's very important. If we're partnering with, if we're borrowing money, it's one thing. But if we're partnering with you, we're gonna own this asset for a minimum of 5 years. We wanna make sure we're the right fit in all directions. Everyone's gonna enjoy this. We're on the same wavelength. We're gonna really have, and that's like our new private money partner for the deal. He's perfect. But we told Morgan, okay, Morgan, 30 days, I think it was like around
30 to 60 days.
30 to 60 days, we said, we're not gonna record you on this property because I think it's a waste of money. Let me explain. Yeah, it's like a couple $1,000s. We said, we will record you if we cannot get the funding in like 45 days. We will record you against this asset and your note will be there. Thankfully, Morgan trusted us, even with an unsecured loan. I mean, he still had a promissory note. We still had all the documentation. It just wasn't secured against an asset. He trusted us to do that, and then we found a private money partner and got him out before the time I have to record it. So that, even that lending was very creative, that lending opportunity. But that's right, the leverage of this asset allowed us to then buy this amazing property in Puerto Rico, even when it seemed like it was gonna be impossible at like the finish line. So that's a great point. The more of these tools or game pieces you have, I guess, the more you can do really awesome things and start leveraging the debt in one or the equity in another, and then connecting with awesome people who, you know, I mean, that's what this is all about, right? All of us staying here, connecting with each other, learning about each other, and seeing how we can solve each other's problems. So,
And doing things, you don't look at just this house and say, oh, I've got to do this my first deal, like Michael was saying. Look at, there's $100,000 homes, there's $60,000 homes in the Midwest. I mean, there's all over, there's find where you feel comfortable starting out and then grow on that.
right, I mean, no property in California has made me financially free. It's all Alaska, Washington, and the Southeast. California's not making me financially free. It sure as heck makes me wealthy though. The debt pay down and the appreciation of the properties. And we have Prop 13 here, if you guys are, you should be familiar with it. It's like one of the biggest cheat codes where your property taxes are essentially fixed to your purchase price and they only go up like a tiny percentage from the point, the purchase price itself. It doesn't mean a lot in the short term. In the long term, when this property is worth $5 million, we're paying taxes as if it's close to 1.8, 1.9 million. That's a huge savings. And California allows for that, so the longer you can hold great debt and great properties in California, it's phenomenal. But it will not make you financially free. It's all the other assets, pretty much everywhere else, that will.
And for some of you who don't invest in other states, just to touch on that, some of them come out and assess your property every year. and change your taxes accordingly.
Yeah, some
So
other
it's a big
states do, yeah. Like Alaska, every year I'm getting an increase, so that's not fun.
I
All
have
right.
a question for Brendan and Lucas. Are you guys lending nationwide?
We do, yes. So the only caveat to that is New York is only investment property, so we don't do any primary occupied over in New York.
Oh, so you also do primary as well?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
So we're, just to clarify, so it is non-QM, so it's on the subsect of conventional financing. So if you're doing FHA, if you're doing Fannie Freddie Mac, we don't do that.
Okay.
We do everything else outside of that.
So do you do HELOCs or no?
We don't do that either, no, so
You guys
we
should
wanna
do
maintain
investment
it.
HELOCs, I would love you if you did that.
No.
Get some more investment HELOC people out there.
But we can get you the right connections.
Yeah.
There we go.
There
See,
you
that's
go.
exactly what it is.
I can do.
There we go. Awesome. I think that's the gist of it, y'all. I don't wanna prolong this
And
anymore.
Mike, I think it's important to say this
Please.
is not a beginner's strategy. So if you have an opportunity to invest in a property like this, I would highly suggest to partner up with someone like Mike, who's done it or been doing. Because especially for me, I have covered Airbnbs out of the country. It's not easy to manage, and it's not, especially here with the licensing and the whole thing going on. This is not just an easy strategy to do, especially when you have a mortgage in place and it's a VA. So.
Right.
Hey guys, just show of hands, who in here has done a real estate transaction? Any kind of transaction? Okay, now who hasn't? Raise your hands if you have not, right? You guys need to talk to each other, okay? Because the whole purpose of this is networking, right? So, there's enough people in here, guys. If you guys are networking, you guys need 10 new numbers. All right, make it a goal, get 10 new numbers, network, and anything that you guys need or have or want, you guys should be expressing to each other, all right? Because I know it goes to like 6
Yeah, I
o'clock.
think so.
So there's more than enough time, guys. If you have not done a transaction in this room, there's enough superpowers in this room to get it done. If you need money, money's in this room. If you guys need help just structuring a deal, that's for sure in this room, right? So make sure you guys network, don't be shy, get out of your shells. If you have not gotten a number since you've been here, you are doing it wrong. All right? I want to throw that out.
And also get Blink. If you don't have Blink,
Yes. Yep.
so much easier to network like that. You know?
True.
3 last things. 3, really quick. 2 more sponsors, I forgot. Coast to Coast Vets, Adam and I sponsor the event and venue, cleaning, all that good stuff. Just wanted to give a shout out to Coast to Coast Vets, you're welcome. And the one thing is, Adam and I have 4 capital raising opportunities right now, so if you're someone who has capital that wants to deploy it, we have 2 private money partnerships where these are money, this is money you lend, but not really, you're lending to own, so you're coming in as a partner, you own the asset with us. We have 2 of those right now, and then 2 private money lenders. We're refinancing our existing private money lenders with new ones, so if you just want like a 12% return on your money, let us know, we have 2 scenarios like that right now, and then 2 for ownership opportunities. You can own awesome co-living properties in Georgia and, both in Georgia, in Atlanta and Savannah, Georgia, with us. So there's those opportunities. There's no, there's no like too little, I guess there is, like if it's like less than 20, 25K, keep that money, save that for your other investments. But if you have some amount, let us know, because we can probably get you in some way somehow, or connect you with someone else that can bridge the rest. So if you have anything, just let us know. Yeah, we got plenty of deductions we can give you too. If
Is
you got
anyone lending here on purchasing businesses, not just real estate?
anyone here, I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh, Kathleen is.
Right here.
Okay,
Talk
let me
about
have-
business, so-
Perfect. Yeah, that's a really good thing. I would love to, but maybe we just won't. Like the you need one and whatever that thing, that little game. Nah, never mind. And then the other one is super investors. So that's my community. It's that real estate investing community focused specifically on financial freedom through buying, holding, investing, through in raising the capital, so you're using none of your own money. Very focused on the systems and the step-by-step. A lot of you are in sub 2, and I am too, and I love sub 2, and I'm thankful for PACE. Mine's a little bit different. It's not everything about everything. It's everything about one thing, and then like the step-by-step. How do you actually do? What's the next step? What's the next step for the entire process of building your buy and hold portfolio to financial freedom? So those are the only 2 other sponsors we forgot. And then just please make sure to do the raffle sign up. We're going to do those one-on-one consultations. And then we have 6 of those, and then the PropStream gift basket, which also includes 1 year of their software, which is awesome. I think that's like, I don't know, $1,200 or something. Yeah, it's like $1,200, so awesome. And then in the raffle sign up, I put the 7-day free trial for you guys. If anyone doesn't have PropStream, you wanna play with it, it's free. They just gave me a link for you guys to use, so, feel free to do that. And I think that's it. Unless-
Yeah, don't, if you're ever interested, hit us up and rent a place. It's on,
Oh, yeah.
book it direct with us, don't book it on Airbnb.
It'll save you money.
And then it'll save you some money, but also, if anyone has their own community or real estate, if you wanna have meetings here, little workshops, seminars, you can have, little mini masterminds here. We've got 6 bedrooms. You all stay here for the weekend. We'll package something up together for you, and you have your own little house here and just come up with some great, amazing ideas. But holiday parties, any type of weddings, we will host small weddings, and we also have a chef that we can hire. If you have drinks.
And just want to shout, like Justin Brown, he brought his team here to do their holiday party. Well, can you give us a tiny bit of info about it, Justin?
Yeah, it's a great evening. We cater in food. We have Uber service. We bring in all the beverages. We bring in entertainment. We use almost the entire property. So we have, I think, last year we had maybe 50-something people here, maybe more than that. 50.
No, it's all right. Hey,
Okay. But it's definitely a great place. Like,
don't wrap yourself out, Justin. Wait, did you charge him for that? No, so like he's had 2 cool parties. Adam's done,
Did a sushi party here one night. If you look on the Airbnb photos, you can see the photos. It's for marketing.
I'll be hosting a workshop here, like an educational 2-day workshop, and then we'll have some VIP upgrades where guests can also stay, like members who are attending can also stay in the property. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with this house in addition to just renting it out for you and your family. So I think that's it. Make sure to do the raffle, or make sure to sign up if you want to be part of the raffle. Otherwise, I think just keep on networking, keep on, oh yeah, please.
Can I just make an announcement?
Yeah, of course you can.
I have a property, small mixed use in an opportunity zone in San Diego. So if anybody's looking for tax incentives, opportunity zone.
Looks like Steve's on this.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to share anything? This is like, if you have something that you think is worthwhile sharing, you're raising money, want to lend money, you have an investment, you're trying to sell something, I don't know, yeah, please. This is a good opportunity.
Hey guys, Morgan Khan. I've been investing in real estate in the last 10 years. Have a W-2 for a long time and found that it took my freedom away the more successful I was, whereas real estate has bought it back. Now I'm about to close on an 86-unit multifamily building in West Texas. We have about $250K left of the $1.4 million equity round. I'm personally invested $100 in this deal. I believe in it. I think it's going to be a great return. If anybody's looking for last-minute tax write-offs, we're going to do a cost seg this year for 2024. It's a 19% annualized return. It's a really cool profile. It's elevating the standard of affordable housing. That's what I do. So come and find me if you want to chat about that.
Thank you.
Danny Martinez, I'm one of the sponsors as well. I do automation and land, so I'm a nationwide land investor. There's a few people that, I'm usually the only person that's a land investor. Dan, who's another land investor, actually I invite him to get some more land people here, because no one else does land. So I'm a nationwide land investor, mostly in Texas, and I do a lot of automations and systems. So if you need any help with automations and backend systems, and I am looking for lending, private lending, and type of stuff like that on land as well.
Anyone else have a comment or need?
attended Daniel's presentation. It's pretty awesome, you guys. The way he structures his land deals, it's pretty amazing. So if you're interested, I would hit him up.
Any other wants or needs, whether you're
I
new
want to
or
say
not?
something real quick.
Yeah, please.
So, Steve, Richard and Mitch are the leaders here for SoCal. They've been doing a lot of work for us. I see a lot of familiar faces here, but guys, we gotta get our asses out of our houses and get together. I know a lot of people here, but most of the people here I don't know, and I've heard they all in sub too. So we gotta get our shit together and start meeting more. I wanna be friends with everyone, but I wanna make money with everyone. So next year, I believe you guys are gonna be hosting a lot of events, right? I kinda took some time off for my own events, but we gotta get together, we gotta start hanging out more and getting to know each other, because there's a lot of people from San Diego here that I don't know, and they are in sub two. And so we gotta get together more and keep pushing, so we can make money together and be friends.
And we are inclusive, right? Our Gator and TC friends, we love you guys too. You know, if you're exclusive to us. Yes,
The Gator
please.
side of it, so if you guys don't know me, I'm Alonzo, I go by Zoe Guzman, I've been here for 2 years. I'm part of leadership with Scott and a few others at OCJB. We help Mitch and Rich, they support us, we support back. Just want to let you know, if you guys are interested in Gator or all about Gator, want to test drive the car before you buy it, let me know. Just a little bit insider information, I will be your regional leader for Gator. It will be official next year, so you guys are getting right now with a few others, so just reach out to me, I'll be more than happy to help you guys.
Congratulations.
And Zoe is the real deal, so just FYI, like, this stuff right there.
Any of these guys, all go-givers.
Absolutely.
You call them anytime, they're gonna help.
Yeah, please.
Scott Mednick, I'm co-leader with Zoe at Orange County JV. We had pad split out here last week or a week and a half ago, Atticus. I'm starting a small little group for CoLiving in Southern California, actually part of all of California. If anybody wants any help or if you're interested in learning more about CoLiving and working with other people, let me know. Just hit me up on Instagram or whatever.
What's your last name?
Mednick, M-E-D-N-I-C-K.
Thank you.
Yeah, Scott Mednick Deals is one way of doing it, or just find me on.
Okay.
Are you primarily focused on, I know, that's why Martin didn't come out today, because you guys had your event. They told me when I was asking them for the sponsorship. Are you primarily focused on owning assets here for co-living?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, that's the goal.
Very much needed in some, well, I mean, in general, but definitely.
Do you know how many requests that they've had in
Probably
California?
a ton, I can't even fathom.
13,000.
Yeah, especially because they started with LA, they'll probably do San Diego, and then probably go north after that.
Yeah, well, they have 3 right now in California.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, they were emailing us about starting, they were trying to get, Pasco was getting people to come out here, or to turn their properties over.
Yeah, I might do an
They
event in
emailed us
NorCal.
about it.
I'll let you guys know when I do an event in NorCal as well. Social media, Michael M-N-A-T is the best way to stay connected. I'll be doing a pad split event, pad split and PropStream, I was confusing two. Pad split and PropStream, event in NorCal.
Where at NorCal are you located?
So I'm near Monterey, California, just a little
Okay.
more inland, but that's roughly where it's at, near Monterey. So I'll do it somewhere wherever central to everyone else, because.
If you have more connections in past, maybe you already have them, but. I mean,
Yeah, we have a few good reps, but I'd love to just touch
Okay,
base
so,
more.
yeah,
just
they're
to see.
hiring a rep now for LA.
Oh, cool. Yeah, ours are all southeast reps, Florida, Georgia, those are our reps.
I have a want.
Yeah,
So
please.
I'm looking for either investment properties out here, so I do work in opportunity zones, like Kathleen was saying, basically there are specific parts of the town that I can develop on, right? So I'm buying stuff like that. I'm also buying fix and flips. So if anybody has anything that the numbers work out, I'll buy that tomorrow, right? And then if there's anybody else that does anything does anybody in here invest in North Carolina? Right? Okay, so I'm looking for property management out there, like a solid one.
You still haven't found it?
Yeah, I get fired from left and right.
You might have to sell that.
Which town?
It right in Charlotte, right in Druid Hills. Anyways, that's what I want. If anybody has any stuff, let me know. Thank you.
All right, oh, yeah, please.
Alright, I'm Stephanie Figueroa. I'm based here in SoCal. A lot of people know me with short-term rentals, but Robert and I are gonna be doing assisted livings, but, not only that, we have a virtual assistant agency. We specialize in real estate and business, so, we have over 77 VAs employed, and we help over 55 US-based clients. So if you need a virtual assistant, social media, cold callers, EAs, S-tier management, we've got those. So looking to help other people and get some of more Filipinos employed too.
I have to,
Have you dealt with the Filipino workforce over here?
I mean, I'm Filipino, so.
You should tap in, because
Yeah.
that workforce helps people all day, and that could be a constant lead source for you.
Okay.
Yeah, just type in Filipino workforce. Yeah.
all right, I have one more want. Can we all go and take an awesome holiday photo over there, please? I saw our Substitute Houston crew, my friends out there, Substitute Drew and the crew, they crushed it. And then come back and make sure to do the raffle if you want it, and then we will choose a few winners after this. Yeah, over there with the tree and all that, with the tree and the website. I can let you know. These are in front of the house. What do you think? Alright, hey guys, I want. Yeah, go over there and we'll see. Right over there with the presents, the trees, that whole area.
That was my own lens cap I dropped. It's okay. So sadly, this question, my camera glitched, so I had to reboot it. But I'm going to talk to everyone to see if I can get their content as well. Should I keep it? If you want to, if we're going to do a walkthrough, we can leave it on. I can just follow you with this camera.
Let's go to our tree. Yep, you guys can sit all over there. What do you think? Can we do it or no? We're going for New Year's.
Yeah, I don't think I got any time, regardless. But yeah, I think we'll take it back out there. I guess I can
I guess I'm going to take the photo over here. Good to see you again, Mark. All right, everyone. I'm good. Oh, there's people in the back. Do you want me to stand on the counter?
Yes,
A chair? Yeah. Chair would be better. Let's grab one. One of these? I'm sorry, I'm so short.
Alright, I'm gonna get us on a sub 2, alright? You guys ready? We're gonna hit sub 2 on 4. Oh, is he?
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Good.
Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna do a sub 2 on 3. I'll send this one a pace, alright? Alright, we're gonna go. What do you guys want to say? Sub 2. You guys want sub 2? Hey! Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Sub 2! Woo! Merry Christmas, y'all. Woo!
See.
No! Sub 2 represents. Alright, guys. Alright, are we good here? Or do you guys want one big photo in front of the house? You guys choose, because I'm making my be good. It makes it look like. Yeah, this is good. Alright, let's go. Hey, you guys, get some networking, get some mingling, have fun, enjoy the house. Do a little tour.
Put the chair back and grab my phone.
Alright, so you got it done.
Show you the photo.